All right. Hello, everyone. This is David Jacoby with Hostfully. We are so sorry for the delay. Thank you for sticking with us. We had some work from home technical issues that I hope you all can appreciate. So thank you for your patience. We're really excited to have the HomeToGo team joining us for this webinar. And I'm going to hand it over to Kara and Rachel from HomeToGo.
Awesome. Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for tuning in. We're excited to talk to you all today and give you some more information about our channel, HomeToGo, and also give you some tips and tricks that we are seeing based on some travel trends for summer traveler behavior as it relates to COVID. So who are we giving this presentation today? So my name's Kara Thibodeau, and I'm one of the U.S. sales managers for HomeToGo, and I'm really happy to virtually connect with everybody today. For those of you who are not familiar with HomeToGo, I'm going to be starting us off today and give you some more information about who we are and what we do. And then my lovely boss, Rochelle, she is our head of business development. She's going to take us through some COVID travel trends. All right, so who are we? To give you all some context, we started off as a meta search back in 2014, meaning we partnered with other OTA websites such as VRBO, Airbnb, and Booking.com. And we listed properties from these OTAs onto HomeToGo, which really made us a one-stop shop for travelers to price compare vacation rentals in any given area. So very similar to, let's say, kayak.com. However, we do want to make the booking experience better for travelers by offering more transparency to them in regards to who they're booking with, and also allow for property managers to have more control over the bookings again. So in recent years, we've shifted our model to become a booking platform. So these are just a few stats here. I won't go through all of them, but some of the more important ones to note. So we currently have 23 core domains, and we've acquired other companies such as Casamundo, as you can see here, and Wimdu, which are popular European booking websites, and most recently Tripping.com, which most likely you're familiar with. And then we currently work with over 1,600 vacation rental companies that are integrated directly onto our site that we've connected with either via their property management software or through a channel manager. So here are some examples of some of the property managers we're currently partnered with. Some of these property managers are large property managers with various destinations, and some are more regional companies with less properties. No matter the size of the company, HomeToGo really is a platform in which every property manager can compete and expand their booking volume regardless of their size and inventory count or destination. So what are some of the benefits property managers can see when they connect to our channel, and what makes us different from some of the other OTAs out there? Well, we like to really think of ourselves as a property manager friendly OTA, meaning we put the power back in your hands. So when we were designing our integration, we really wanted to design it with property managers in mind, as well as thinking through some of the challenges property managers face. We know you want to increase your brand visibility and your revenues, but you don't want to lose that control to the OTAs. By solely relying on large OTAs to drive your booking volume, you're losing that transparency over your content, your pricing, and the communication, as well as the guest experience. I actually used to work at Turnkey prior to this, and I would get guests that would come through Airbnb asking for a discount, and I wouldn't know how much they were paying because Airbnb had a service fee that at the time I couldn't see. So there really wasn't any way to know what the guest was actually paying for their stay with us, or we'd have damages that would come through when we had some guests stay through Airbnb, and having to go through and make a damage claim, that would take weeks to get paid out on. We really understand what you guys go through, and property managers understand how to run a vacation rental business, and not always the OTA. So we really want to give you back that power to do exactly that. So with our integration, you'll be able to get paid out at the time of booking, which is super helpful. We capture the guest credit card details, and that information gets passed along to you through Hostfully, so you can take payment upon booking and remain the merchant of record. We also capture the guest's contact details, which is also passed to you through Hostfully, so you don't have to log into any additional dashboard on HomeToGo or any portals with us to talk to your guests. You can communicate with them completely offline with their real email address. And guests have to agree to your cancellation policy, which is really, really great, especially in these times. So you get to use your own unique cancellation policy. And you can remain in control of the booking. If your guest wants to cancel, you have that final say if you want to offer them a refund, a credit, or if you want to work with them on deferring their stay based on your unique terms and conditions. And last but not least, while some people prefer Airbnb and while some people prefer VRBO, some people prefer using HomeToGo. So you're able to capture a new audience of travelers, and especially now more than ever, it's really important to just get your properties at additional exposure and diversify your revenue streams. All right, so these are just a couple of examples of some of the different options that we have for travelers to search on our site. So we do have a tablet version, a mobile version, and also desktop as well. So what does the process look like for travelers using our site when they find your properties? Our site is super user-friendly, just like some of the other OTAs out there. So they can use their different filters and pick specific or flexible dates to search for their chosen destination. The search results page is where your properties will appear once you're integrated with us under your brand name, which is really great. So once again, more transparency for the guest when they find your property. They can see exactly the property manager and the property management company that they're booking with. And then they'll be able to click on your property, the price is verified, and they can go ahead and complete the booking. This is an example of what the landing page would look like if the guest finds your property on our site. We'll be pulling all of the static data from Hostfully, so your photos, amenities, description, all of that will pull over, as well as your availability and the rates. So they'll be able to complete the booking on HomeToGo just like any other booking platform. This is just an example of what they'll see when they go through the booking process. So in our integration, we will pull all of your fees. Either you have maybe included fees. Most of those will probably be a cleaning fee, but maybe you have optional fees as well. We'll be able to pull that so that the guest can, also choose that option. For example, maybe you're out of Palm Springs, California, and you have a heating pool fee that's not always included, but it's an option. The guest can choose that option, and it will be broken down for them so they can see a clear breakdown of what the cost looks like. So just a quick overview of what that process looks like for both the guest and for you. So guests find your brand at HomeToGo. They can go ahead and complete the booking on our site. Once that happens on your end, you'll also get a booking confirmation sent to you through Hostfully. So you'll be able to see the booking come through, as well as the guest credit card details. So the one thing to note here with our integration, which most integrations are this way as well, you just want to make sure that you're charging the guest credit card within 10 days of receiving the booking. And that's because after the 10 days, the credit card details will expire. So most people are already charging it within the 10 days, but something to note. And then for the guest, once they're done completing their booking, they're going to get a confirmation email from HomeToGo stating that the reservation has been verified, and they'll get a confirmation number from us. What we'll also do too is we'll be showing your brand name again, as well as your contact details. So that way they do understand, although they booked it on the HomeToGo platform, they know exactly who they booked through and with, and that way they're able to contact you if they have any follow-up questions about their stay. And also it's just good for them to know, they booked the reservation with you, so they know that if you have any sort of additional corresponding emails you want to send to them, maybe that's their check-in instructions or an additional rental agreement, they'll know that that's coming from the person that they booked with. All right, and Rochelle is going to take us into the 5 ways to jumpstart your revenue recovery.
Hi guys, hello, Rachel speaking. Thanks to everyone joining today. Thanks to Hostfully as well for having us. I have starting answering a couple of questions you guys had on the chat. Thanks so much for that. let's make sure we take them then to the end of the session, if that's okay for you, and that we go through them. But we have an eye on that. Thanks so much. We'll make sure to cover that in the next minutes. Okay, cool. So that was us. That was HomeToGo. You already have a couple of questions about that. And given that we have so many offers on our platform, where something we do regularly is crunching the numbers and looking into the data, looking into travel trends, what we see among users, and especially in the last couple of months with COVID-19, everyone was a little bit taken aback and had to reconsider its own distribution strategy and generally what guests exactly are booking. And this is something we want to help you with today. We gathered it to 5. We thought that would be the most actionable for you. We have access to a ton of data. So if you're interested in some more, let us know. And we'll make sure to include that in the next session or just to get back to you individually and answer your questions. Cool. So why do we show you this today? Well, the idea is actually that we can give you little tricks and tips you can use right now, but also we can help you understand the long-term outlook and the different shifting trends. And this is going to lead you to successful bounce back. So that's the idea of the whole exercise. Again, we've got access to a ton of data. So we're there to help you. What do we see? If Kara, you can move to the next slide, that would be awesome. Amazing. We see new travel behaviors. So what have we seen? A couple of things that are super insightful for you guys and for us as well. A couple of data points, like for instance, the average days to check-in. So we see that it's currently at 42 days, and that is actually way less than last year, right? 33%, meaning that travelers right now are traveling very spontaneously, right? And we'll come to the action points in a minute, but first of all, we need to understand. So they're traveling spontaneously. Average length of stay, that is super interesting because a couple of months ago, at the beginning of the pandemic, this number was way higher. And now we actually see travelers doing those little trips, spontaneous trips, but not for very long. So we actually see a reduced length of stay at the moment. The average booking value is pretty much stable, actually. It's $1,200 at the moment. We see a huge demand for rural destinations with 91% of our bookings. And the kind of distance to your from your home to the destination you're booking is less than in 2019 and way less than in 2018. So these are already insights. And then when we look at the top book destinations, we have a little map here to help you visualize it. Well, we see that this is really well illustrating the point I just had about, okay, those rural destinations are actually being really high up at the moment. So travelers are being spontaneous. They are staying on average a shorter duration than usual. They're spending pretty much the same value, meaning they seem to be booking maybe another type of properties that is very interesting, or at least be ready to pay more. And they are looking for remote areas mostly, right? So these are the kind of first insights we can gain from looking at the data. On the next slide, we can look at the differences in destinations between this year and last year. Again, you'll see that we see huge increases for destinations like Massachusetts, Nebraska, and other destinations where typically, for instance, Louisiana with New Orleans, that was the main destination for Louisiana last year, are plummeting, given, again, the fact that there are more urban destinations than rural destinations. Okay, so now that we have understood those new travel trends, it's time to understand what to do about our properties and what you guys can do about that. And I just want to make that very clear from the start. Please do not feel like, oh yeah, thanks, I actually have an apartment in the middle of a big city. What is there for me? Well, I can't offer remote. Well, wait a sec, because this is actually the whole idea of it. It's, make the best out of what you have. So no matter what your property is and how your property looks like or where is it located, the number one criteria we see right now for users to book properties is the flexibility. So again, we've just seen that they're being very spontaneous in the way they book. So offering flexible cancellation is super important. And I know not everyone can offer, fully refundable stays, for instance. But the good thing is, if you connect to us, we use your own cancellation policy. So if you change them, we're going to change them on our site as well. So you can be pretty dynamic about it and just, accommodate users that approach you. So look out for last-minute bookings and also remove minimum stays. As you saw, we had 5 days right now. If you have a week minimum stay, well, you're simply missing out on bookings at the moment. What we saw in the last couple of months is that actually we see an 80% conversion increase if you have free cancellation on your object, right? So super important point number one, and that is applicable to all of us: be more flexible. The second point is to emphasize cleanliness, and you might be thinking, okay, Rachel, thank you. We know about that. We've been cleaning our houses for years, and especially in COVID, for sure. And, we're professionals and we trusted to abide by the new hygiene standards. But please make that really, really obvious and make the users aware of it, because what we see on our platform, and we have millions of properties. So again, we can compare and look at, okay, what are the offers actually that are converting better than the rest, and why are they converting better? Well, we see that property is really highlighting the cleaning procedure, especially the new one. Even, adding those cleaning fees on top and making that very transparent, where they're actually converting better. Because this is a question on everyone's mind at the moment. So a user shouldn't have to scroll down the description to find out about this point. Please put that at the top, reflect the cleaning fees in the final price, and highlight that in the description. Guests want to feel safe. So that's easy to implement. Number 3, and that is very much related to what I just mentioned at the start with, well, yes, not everyone has a cabin in the hoods, right? And that's totally fine. But think about, okay, who is my actually traveler persona, right? Who is going to be searching for my type of property? And we picked 3 here, but many more might apply in your case. Number 1, well, you have a great apartment in downtown Austin. Well, think about people being digital nomads, working remotely. What kind of amenities are they going to be interested in? Highlight Wi-Fi, because this is also a filter that is highly used on our page. Mention the fact that you have a very comfortable setup to work, because I know that personally, when I had to start working from my home, I didn't have the best setup for sure. And sitting on the couch with a laptop is not exactly a very healthy and productive way of settling down at home. So highlight this, highlight the neighborhood. Hey, you can, have food delivered to your place or takeaway. All those elements and criteria that are very important for that type of travelers. Number 2, families, staycation. We talk about them a lot. Yes, but sell them their vacation already. You have board games, you have a grill, you have an amazing pool. This should be reflected on your pictures as well. So if you used to have a primary picture, I don't know, displaying a crowded street, because that was, your kind of USP of being in the middle of this lively street. Well, switch that to, this amazing view from the garden where it's so quiet and you can be alone with your family. Persona number 3, frontline workers, those amazing everyday heroes, we're still facing cases at the moment. Well, they need also another type of properties. So think about them, highlight this in the description. You're going to see really a big increase in your conversion as well. That was number 3. Number 4 now. And that's pretty much related to the amenities as well, because apart from the persona, right, there are just amenities right now that are overwhelmingly chosen by our guests. And this is an interesting map per state where you see the top searched amenity. So super important, because, and why am I saying that? Because if it's already on your page, please make sure this is reflected on your distribution channels as well, like HomeToGo. Have a look and check that you have entered this information properly in your software, in Hostfully as well, because we all know, little data glitches can happen, and that would be too bad that your offers get filtered out by everyone searching in Texas for property with a pool, or everyone searching in Montana where pets are allowed. So this is also super important. Bear in mind that you might be filtered out certain searches if you don't have that properly reflected in your description and in your feed, in what you feed to your distribution channels. The final point is something that has been a very, very big trend in the last month, diversifying your distribution. And this is where amazing softwares like Hostfully are really helping you doing this, right? Just to make sure that you do not get all of your bookings and all of your revenues from one or two sources. This is something property managers have told us so often in the last month, and they've been burnt quite badly in certain cases. Why? Because obviously, if you're depending on one or two sources, then you're getting very dependent and you're getting weak, and you don't have a choice anymore. So now is the moment to very easily being able to connect to other channels. Obviously, HomeToGo is there, but you also have other channels, right? I mean, you have niche channels as well you could be trying out. So have a look. This is very easy to activate usually, and this is super important to get more exposure as well into a different type of audience. Now you might be thinking, yeah, okay, but like right now, paying another channel, I don't really know. I would need to look into the numbers and so on. And this is something that our potential clients told us a lot at the beginning of the crisis. And this is actually why we launched the Bounce Back program. And the Bounce Back program is a great promotion that we offer to all US property managers. Really, there is nothing hidden, so no hidden fees, no small prints, no strings attached. We offer you actually 0% commission fees until the end of the year. As Kara mentioned, you get the same benefits as any other connection that we have, any other client that we have, meaning immediate payout, direct communication, but also fast integration. So this is really something that's super actionable as well for you. And if you decide to sign up with us, well, we can put you live next week, which is pretty sweet because, these are new bookings. It's additional bookings with more control that you could be actually capturing as of next week, which is pretty sweet. Super easy. We have a connection form. You then need to activate your properties within Hostfully. And again, our integration managers are making sure to go through all the quality checks to offer you the best possible integration and then to put you live. So this is something we're extremely excited about, especially for you guys at Hostfully, because it's the first time that we're having a webinar on the topic. We've been running the promotion for a couple of months now. It has really received amazing reactions, and property managers are eager to try it on. We've had like more than 100 onboarded in the last 6 weeks. It's pretty sweet, and this is also offered to you. No strings attached, no small prints. As easy as it sounds, it's just 0% commission fees until the end of the year. And obviously, if you have questions about that, we can make sure to answer all of these questions. But apart from that, that would be it from our side. We hope that the session was insightful. Again, this is really meant as being actionable for you. So if there is anything else you would like to understand better, we had, for instance, a session last week with another partner meant for an European audience. And, a couple of property managers, for instance, from Portugal or UK had precise questions about their market. So if you guys have certain questions related to your destination or anything that's a bit more granular, please let us know. We make sure to look into that and add it to the next session or send it to you directly. That's pretty much it. Handing the mic back to Hostfully. We might have had a couple of questions in between, so we could be looking into that as well.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much for that. I do see we have a couple of questions. I think, Rachel, were you tracking those questions? Do you want to go ahead and tackle any of those?
Absolutely, yes. So a question from Cameron regarding, kind of the process and whether we, pass on the information, what do we check and so on. Sorry, something popped up. So back on the last slide, HomeToGo is taking all identification and verifying the guests, ? Which then gets passed on. So that was, I believe, the little flow chart that Kara showed eventually, right? So that's absolutely the case. So we gather all the information, the guest information, the credit card details as well. We test that out, and then we send that over to you, and you have 10 days to charge the card. We will implement a new payment setup and solution where we will start taking care of payment ourselves, so charging ourselves the guest, but this won't be launched before next year. So in the meantime, this is exactly how we proceed. So Cameron, if you're still there, you can write in the chat if that answers your question or not, and I can definitely give you more details. In the meantime, I will switch to Jens. I'm pronouncing that in the German way. I hope it's okay. Do you also charge the traveler or only the house owner? We charge the house owner. But in this case, with the bounce back program, we don't charge anyone. So it's 0% commission, and we don't charge the traveler. And David is asking for the recording, so we will definitely make sure to send that to David. But Cameron is typing, so let's maybe wait for a follow-up question. Will you be offering 0% to Canada? No, this is not meant for the Canadian market, but let's maybe take it offline. I'll take the freedom to reach out to you directly, Cameron, and we check together whether we could figure something out if all of your properties are are located in Canada.
Oh.
Cool. I don't see any other questions for now.
If there's other questions, you can put them in the
Yep. Sorry.
in the chat section. Just to reiterate, for those listening who are clients of Hostfully, to turn the integration on, just go to your integrations page and turn the toggle on, and then you can manage this channel as well, and you can choose which properties specifically to turn on. So if for some reason you don't want all of them on, you do have that granularity, and all the pricing, availability, and property details will be sent over to HomeToGo. Pretty easy, pretty smooth.
Yeah, that's a real pleasure for us to work with you guys, because that's also what's very important for us, to have a really smooth integration. And make sure property managers can be onboarded quickly. So that's pretty nice. So I think Naya asked this question, so I guess that would be the answer.
Awesome, great. Are there any other questions? I think we answered all of them in the public chat. Not sure if there were any private ones. Rachel, Kara, any other final comments?
Well, again, I'd like to thank everyone who joined today. Thanks to Hostfully, thanks to everyone who took the time. Sorry for the delay. We'll send around the recording, I believe. And yeah, super excited to have you on board, guys. I think that's a great promotion. The idea is to move the needle for you, to give back to this industry, and to show you that we're really in there together. If you have any other suggestions, questions, you can reach out to us directly.
Yes.
Thanks so much.
Awesome. Thank you, everyone. Kara, Rachel, thank you so much for that helpful presentation. I know a lot of our clients are already using HomeToGo, and very excited to be having more using you as an additional distribution strategy. Everyone who signed up for this webinar will be getting emailed a link to this, so you'll be getting that shortly. And thank you very much, everyone. We'll be in touch.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Bye, guys.